Good evening, friends and fellow gardeners, and today I'm happy to bring to you a complete guide on how to grow tomatoes. The first thing that y'all have to consider when first purchasing a tomato is exactly what type of tomato it is. There are two basic types of tomatoes, and the first one is an indeterminate type, which means it's indeterminate in its production, so it will have a steady production throughout the season. The second type is a determinate tomato, which means there is a determinate point on the calendar where it's going to put out the bulk of its harvest, which means you will have a whole lot of tomatoes at once. So y'all will have to decide exactly what type y'all want. Now there are Goliath tomatoes, there are regular tomatoes, there are cherry tomatoes, there are all these different shapes and colors of tomatoes, heirlooms, hybrids that y'all can buy, and y'all will have to research exactly what flavor and what colors y'all would like to try. The second thing that y'all want to think about when y'all purchase y'all's tomatoes is where exactly to plant them. The sun rises in the southeast and sets in the southwest, contrary to the common myth that it rises in the east and sets in the west. So whichever direction faces south is the direction that will get full sun, granted there's not trees blocking it. So y'all want to make sure that y'all's tomatoes have southerly exposure, because most tomatoes are full sun plants, meaning they need more than or equal to 6 hours. If it's part shade, it's 4 to 6 hours, and if it's shade, it's less than 4 hours. But tomatoes and most vegetables are in fact full sun. The third thing that y'all have to think about is whether y'all are transplanting or y'all are seeding. If y'all are seeding, y'all are going to take your finger and get down here and just plant it the depth of your fingernail. Literally, just a little divot, and that's all you'll need. And just throw in your little seed, cover it up, and then water it till the seed sprouts up, and then y'all are going to want to slowly ease off for the next 10 days to where you're watering about 1 time a week. And when you water, you'll want to soak the dirt all the way through. Now if y'all are transplanting, y'all are going to want to get peat pots or smaller pots and start them inside in a controlled temperature. Do the same thing, plant them about a fingernail depth, and water them every single day. Make sure that the dirt is moist, because that is the best way seeds germinate. When they germinate and get to a few inches tall, y'all are going to want to slowly ease off the watering. And when the last frost day ends, so in other words, when spring begins and there's no more frost, y'all are going to want to come out here to the outdoors or into y'all's larger pot and go ahead and plant. So y'all's transplant should be about this big, or maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit larger, if y'all start 6 weeks before the last frost date, which is when y'all should transplant. Now, harden it off. And that means that y'all are going to want to put it outside consecutively for about 2 weeks and slowly increase the amount of time it's outside in the elements. If you put it straight outside, it's going to die of the sun. It's going to get sun scorched, and it's not going to be fun. So y'all are going to want to take it out consecutively every single day and leave it out for a few more hours each day until y'all have it out there all day and all night, and then proceed to plant. Now I will demonstrate exactly how to transplant. All that y'all have to do to transplant is dig a big enough hole. Dig a big enough hole. So it should be a lot deeper than this, but this soil hadn't been tilled well. And plant it right in so it's compacted and standing up straight, and its roots have plenty of room to grow. Now y'all are going to want to make sure that y'all's old soil is tilled, which means come in with a shovel or with a tractor if you have a larger field, and make sure that all that soil is flipped up and loose and nice and organic. This has been a beginner's guide to growing tomatoes, part 1. Like, comment, and subscribe for part 2. As always, I've tried to put this in the simplest terms so that everyone watching the channel can understand and learn how to grow tomatoes. Nothing too fancy, nothing too scientific, just have fun. And as always, I love y'all. Bye-bye.